What's up, guys? This is Return to Tennis. I'm your host, Aaron. Thanks for returning. Got out on the court today. Got a couple of episodes we're filming for you. So what'd we hit today? Well, I've been trying to get out and hit it. I was going to hit it earlier when I hit the vortex. Didn't happen. But today we got in. We went over to the court. We booked some time. Did a little walk-on action. Got a reduced price. We hit the Prince Ripstick, right, with the O-ports. Remember the O-ports? That if you watch some of my other previous episodes, you know, the O-ports that I talk so much trash about and I said were ugly and I hate them. Yeah, I'm going to have to eat my words. So I ran into a guy on the court who was hitting against the wall. One day I went out to film and he asked, hey, you just want to hit? And I said, sure. And he was hitting a Prince racket that had O-ports. And I was kind of curious. I asked him, I said, do you like that? I mean, how is it? And he said, oh, I love it. It's the best racket I've ever hit. Anytime I change rackets, he's tried other brands, newer models of rackets. He always comes back to his Prince with the O-ports. Got me kind of curious. Then 2 days later, I was at UTR Match Play. There was a guy playing there that I had played before. He had beat me 3 out of 4 times. Normally, I'd seen him play with an E-Zone 100, and I'd seen him play with a Pure Strike. But that night, he was playing with an older Prince racket that had O-ports. So I said something to the tournament director. I was like, did you see he's playing with a Prince that's got O-ports in it? Because we had talked before about how much he hates the O-ports, mainly because he doesn't like stringing them. I guess they're a real pain to string, so a lot of stringers don't like to deal with them. That's a different conversation, though. But he said, yeah, he broke his strings in his E-Zone. He broke his strings in his Babolat. This is his old racket. And he actually prefers it to the other two, even though it was cracked. He was playing with a cracked racket and would rather play with that than go out and restring his other two, because that's how much he enjoyed it. So that got me thinking, well, it was close to Christmas. I have a couple of gifts I'm allowed to put on my list. And I said, you know what the heck? We'll put this new Prince Ripstick with the O-ports on the list. Yeah, it's pretty good, actually. I was really kind of surprised when I started swinging it how much I enjoyed it. I've actually hit it quite a bit in drills and point play. Now, they do have a reputation for breaking strings, so I strung it with Vocal Cyclone 15 gauge, which I didn't even know 15 gauge existed. I'd never seen anything bigger than a 16 gauge. But Vocal has a Vocal Cyclone 15 gauge, so that's what I had them put in it so that the strings would have some durability. It hits extremely well. Good on serves, good on forehands and backhands. Nice touch and volley work. I mean, it's a solid frame, very comfortable. Comes through the air very easily. I guess having the O-ports and a lack of grommets lends to maneuverability and the aerodynamics of the racket. It also lends to some of the comfort. It hit extremely well. I was not even considering one of these until I had watched Jonas over at Tennis Nerd. He had hit the Ripstick and had raved about it. Excellent for spin. The O-ports allow a lot of string movement. And the ball spins very well. It's a good racket. I've got some footage hitting it. Didn't go well today. I did not hit it very cleanly, especially off the forehand side. It took me until I was hitting a different racket to figure out what I was doing wrong. I was not utilizing my wrist correctly when I filmed this. I figured out in the next film, though. The next racket you see review in the next episode, I figured out the problem by then and hit it a lot better. But this is a good power frame, but at the same time, it hits a fair amount of spin. It hits quite a bit. If you want something that's comfortable, a little lighter, this came in at 300 grams unstrung. With the 15 gauge string, it jumped to 322. I've put an overgrip on it. It's sitting at 329. But it's comfortable. It hits a tremendous amount of spin. It's a very good spin frame. And it's pretty maneuverable around the net. So you haven't tried one of these, maybe hit up Tennis Warehouse and get a demo. They're the only ones that have them. And give it a go. And they've been running a lot of sale prices on Prince rackets in general. So you may want to swing over there, see if you can catch one. I got this one actually used. I didn't want to pay full price. And it was a Christmas gift anyway. I didn't want to, you know, have someone buy me a brand new one when I wasn't sure if I would even enjoy it. Fortunately, I do. I do enjoy it. I've been hitting it quite a bit. So take a look at the footage, guys. You're going to see me hitting off my back foot a lot. I already know. And a lot of balls late. But I promise, next video that you see me hitting, I figured it out. That'll be the next episode. But take a look. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you have any recommendations, racket recommendations, or, you know, things that you're catching me on video, you see me, point them out. I take that, a lot of those criticisms to heart. Like if you say, hey, you needed to move your feet, or hey, you're off balance in this position. Next time I go out and hit, that's something I pay attention to. I appreciate those comments. They do help me. Check it out, guys. All right, here we go with the Prince Ripstick. 100 square inches, 300 grams unstrung. Right now sitting at about 329 with the overgrip. And of course we have the Vocal Cyclone 15 gauge strings, which I'm sure add a bit of weight. Backhands felt really good. Fairly consistent. What you're going to see me start struggling with here is when we switch to the forehands. And I figured out what that was when I hit a racket a little bit later in this session at the courts. It was in my wrist. So you're going to notice that sometimes I'm late, sometimes I'm on my back foot when I'm trying to swing like that. That was off the back foot for sure. You're going to see I don't have a lot of wrist action in some of these shots. My wrist is kind of stiff, and that's what was really holding me back on these today. Probably part of the reason I struggled when I hit the vortex. There we go. That was a little bit better. I also was struggling with my precision off the forehand side. If I wanted to hit into the ad court, I didn't seem to have a problem hitting in the ad court. Kind of hitting the inside out forehand wasn't that hard to me, especially once I got a good rhythm going. Hitting toward the deuce court, hitting for that other corner from this position, more of a almost down the line or just a slight angle, was a struggle. I just could not seem to get it. Ugh, spun that one into the ground. But again, once again on that, I was on my back foot, swinging late. Oh, dead ball. Again, see, that was late. I also, the balls were coming out of the machine a bit different than when they're outside. I noticed that today. When I was outside with it, with the vortex last week, you know, the balls were firing short. It was colder, maybe that had an impact on that, and it just didn't go well. So I bumped the speed up on the slinger bag to spit the balls out a little. There we go. That was nice. A little bit faster speed, and all of a sudden now the balls are coming really deep and high, and I think it's because indoor versus outdoor had a lot to do with it. Me bumping the speed one notch shouldn't have been that big. See, there's another hitting inside out, felt solid, but see, then I try to go down that other corner and I'm struggling. That was a late one. Ugh, this is frustrating to watch. I almost have to be drinking. Frustrating for me, probably entertaining for all of you at home watching this going, good Lord, what is he doing? Ugh. Again, no wrist action here. All shoulder, but once the same thing. And as I said, next episode you're going to see me hitting a different frame. In that episode, I'd actually figured out that my wrist was not involved in my swing at all, and it made a big difference. So, but just a few more minutes of this, guys. I hit a few serves at the end pretty well. I do like this racket on serves. I can really kind of target my serves pretty well with it. If I want to hit the slice to the corner, I can. I can hit flat down the line. And kick serves aren't bad either. And that's still something I'm working on, is the kick serve. That wasn't bad. There's another one that wasn't too bad. Still think it was out though. And you did that. But overall, I am fairly impressed with how the Ripstick hits. In terms of comfort, overall playability, its maneuverability on volleys and at the net is pretty solid. I can see why people like the Oport rackets. Stringers hate them, but from a player standpoint, it is a pretty solid stick. No real vibration in the frame. Just overall a really solid product from Prince. Again, right up there with the quality of the twist power. But that's all I got for you today, guys. Just a few more minutes of me hitting. You make it to the end. I hit a few serves, 2-3 serves, nothing special. Well, floated that one. But until next time, guys, may all your returns be for winners. And we will very shortly here return you to your regularly scheduled programming.